Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would seem as if as we get very close to Trump's presidential inauguration, Trump, however, is not out of the woods quite yet. You see, still to this day, there are very clear attempts being made on his life, with the DC Capitol Police intervening and stopping two potential assassination attempts just the other day. In fact, take a look at this.
This threat, I think, for all of us, remains the lone actor. Just in the past week, while President Carter was lying in state, we had two lone actors show up at the Capitol, one trying to bring in knives and a machete, another one who was trying to, what I believe, to disrupt the proceedings by setting their car on fire down in the Peace Circle area. U.S. Capitol Police were able to interdict these folks before they had a chance to do any harm. But that threat of the lone actor remains the biggest justification for us being on at this heightened state of alert throughout the next week.
So just to be clear, someone tried to bring a machete and several knives into the Capitol building while Trump was there, and also someone tried to blow up their own car outside of the Capitol building? And all of this is happening just days before Trump's upcoming presidential inauguration? I'll tell you what, something weird is going on here, but okay, let's take a closer look at both of these stories. First off, here's a photo of the weapons that the Capitol intruder was apprehended with by security. Seems a little bit weird, right? I feel like normally people aren't just carrying around bags full of knives and a 2.5-foot long machete while trying to enter the US Capitol building. But you know what's even weirder? The guy that they apprehended, the guy that tried to bring the machete into the Capitol building, they ended up just giving him a slap on the wrist. Check this out.
Horn walked out of court today with strict orders to stay away from the Capitol. He told police he was there to pay his respects to Jimmy Carter, but ended up in handcuffs. Horn told News 4 he uses the machete for work.
Do a lot of work, man. I was moving too fast, man. I had my machete in my bag. I forgot, man.
He does a lot of work and just forgot that he had a 2.5-foot long machete inside of his bag as he was trying to enter the Capitol building with Donald Trump inside. Am I the only one not buying this guy's story? How is it possible that just days before the upcoming presidential inauguration, we have machete-wielding would-be assassins trying to enter the Capitol building with hundreds of high-ranking politicians inside, and they just get off with a slight warning? I'm not buying it. You know, maybe I've been watching too many documentaries about Haiti recently, but I just don't believe for 1 second that this guy just forgot that he had a massive machete and 3 knives inside of his backpack while trying to enter the Capitol building at the exact same time that Trump was there. But you know what? I'm not the only one that doesn't buy this guy's story. Take a look.
Do harm. Somebody brings in a box cutter, 2 knives, and a machete. We had thousands of people inside the Capitol that were paying their respects to President Carter.
Finally, a voice of reason, so I know that I'm not the only person going completely crazy. But for real though, it makes you wonder how this guy just got away with a slap on the wrist. You'd think that at least this guy would get detained until after Trump's inauguration, but nope, he's off scot-free, and who knows, maybe he'll accidentally get caught with a machete again. Let's just say I wouldn't be particularly surprised. But hey, you know what does surprise me? Is that some people that enjoy the videos aren't subscribed to the channel. But for real though, it really does help, and I really do appreciate it. But okay, take a look at this next story. This is the one about the exploding car.
2 hours later, around 5:30 in the evening, U.S. Capitol Police saw a man setting a bag on fire on top of a car on 1st Street Northwest. Inside the bag, police say, were accelerants.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The DC police apprehended a man as he was attempting to light accelerants on fire inside of his car. Am I understanding all of this? Because that sounds a little bit familiar. Listen guys, all of these would-be assassination attempts are just getting a little bit too weird and a little bit too coincidental for me. You have this car bomb outside the Capitol, which seems really similar to the exploding Cybertruck outside of Trump Tower in Las Vegas just over a week and a half ago, and then you have this guy trying to meander his way into the Capitol building with a 2.5-foot long machete and a bunch of knives while Trump is inside. So when things like this are happening right before Trump's presidential inauguration, and they seem very reminiscent of other attacks we've seen in the past, that is when my ears perk up a little bit. Because keep in mind, the second Trump gets inaugurated, that's when the Democrats officially lose control. Because even if someone were to take Trump out after the inauguration when he's president, still, then it goes to J.D. Vance, so they'd have to deal with him also. And so just today, breaking news in fact, Trump has decided to move his inauguration inside of the Capitol building, whereas normally it takes place outside. Now, the official reason for the move indoors is because of dangerously cold winter conditions, and that's true. DC is pretty much frozen right now. But you also can't help but wonder if part of the reason is because of these recent assassination attempts. We all know that Trump has a target on his back. There are a lot of very evil and morally bankrupt people that would love to see him go. I mean, hey, let's not forget that just a few months ago, he literally got shot in the head. And hey, speaking about that, why did we never really learn anything about that guy? That's kind of weird. But hey, I don't know if you guys saw the news. Just yesterday, Trump actually picked a new Secret Service director, Special Agent Sean Curran. He's the guy who's been watching Trump's back 24/7 for months now, directly putting himself in harm's way to protect Trump on a daily basis. So I personally think this here is great news. But still, the reality remains, all of the threats to Donald Trump's life haven't just magically disappeared. Even though he won the election, thank God, and now he's about to be inaugurated, it's very likely just going to be another 4 years of this, of mentally ill would-be assassins trying to cement their names in the history books as the one that finally took down Donald Trump. And as a reminder, I feel like I have to say this, in very large part, the left-wing progressive media is directly responsible for a lot of these attacks. For almost a decade now, they've been calling Trump an evil fascist and a Nazi and a white supremacist. He's literally Hitler, whatever. You guys have heard all of it. And so when the media is blasting that message every single day, what do you think is going to happen? It's only a matter of time before some insane person actually thinks they're doing the right thing by trying to take out Trump because he's evil and he must be stopped at all costs. They know that if they just keep on likening Trump to the embodiment of pure evil, sooner or later, someone is going to try to take him out. They know that. That's literally part of their plan. The progressive media says these things, sincerely hoping that someone does something crazy. They are directly instigating it. And so guess what? In the last couple months, just how many crazy people have tried to take Trump's life? Like 5 now? And those are just the ones that we know about publicly. So the point is, this is your daily reminder to keep on hating the left-wing progressive media establishment because, by the way, they are directly complicit in all of this terrible, violent, reprehensible behavior. But hey, I think that's all I've got for you guys on this one. Let's all say a little prayer and hope that Trump makes it into office in one piece and continues on to have an effective 4 years. So on this one, guys, I want to know what you all have to say, so please go down below and drop a comment. Please like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe. Like I said earlier, it's huge and it really does help a ton. Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, stay safe.